Hey guys, and welcome back to Aussie Travellers. I'm Kian, this is Ben, and we're in Robe today talking a little bit about Ben's Ford Ranger. Tell us about it, man.
Alright guys, this is a 2021 Ford Ranger XLT. It's a 3.2 litre 6-speed auto. Sorry to disappoint. Just starting off, sort of coming around the side here. Just as one of the first things I did to the car was I lifted it, 2-inch lift, pedal suspension. I got 33-inch muddies, Toyo tires. They're very good. I'm just running some 17-inch rims. I don't even know what they're called. King Off-Road. That's what they are. I'm pretty happy with them.
So one of the most obvious things we can see about this Ford Ranger is the snorkel. Tell us about the snorkel, man.
Yeah, right. I got a J-Max engineering snorkel, stainless steel. I chose for the option of satin black and the gunmetal grey sticker. I reckon it looks the best, especially with the sort of setup that I'm going. It doesn't stand out or anything. I got J-Max to install it for me because I didn't want to have to deal with the doing the cutting out and everything. Like, they'll do the best job. And just for like a little bit extra, just to chip in a few extra bucks, instead of stuffing it up and having to, like, if it was too big, like having to replace the whole panel or whatever, I didn't want to have to deal with that stress. So I'll just pop the bonnet. I got, as a combo sort of deal with J-Max, I got a snorkel and airbox. So it's pretty dirty in here. I need to give it a good wash, but as you can see, I've got the fully sealed, watertight airbox. It's got a Cayenne pod filter in it, and I'm so happy I've got it. I can feel so safe going through any sort of deep sort of water or anything, knowing that like water won't go up under the guard and into the engine or anything. So it's nice to have that sort of assurance to get out there, get like to those certain places that you can't go, like sometimes where like you need to go through a certain track or whatever, through a water crossing and whatnot.
We can see you've got some real nice bar work on the side, just to save your butt. But yeah, what are you running on as bar work?
Yeah, well, I just went for the fat bars, just the stock standard sort of flat, just black checker plate, just looks the cleanest. It's nice and neat, doesn't stick out too far. It's really solid. I'm pretty sure it's made from like 4mm thick steel. It wraps right round the chassis, plate right round, and then bolts on the top. So I know it's going to hold well. Yeah. It's a good option to have, especially if you're doing some real rocky, some sort of gnarly sort of obstacles. You'll save your panels. You don't want to dent those because you'll be hating yourself for it. But yeah, certainly it's a great thing to have. Sort of replaces those old sort of plastic flimsy side steps that come with the original car from the factory. And if you're doing any sort of crazy stuff, you're just going to break them and possibly damage your car.
So you got a real neat looking canopy setup, roof rack, canopy, everything. So yeah, what made you choose Fleet Trades, and are you happy with it? Tell us about it, man.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy with this setup that I got going. I didn't want to go anything too crazy because just starting off as like I'm a chippy apprentice. We don't earn that much, but some of the higher end sort of like they look nice and neat, and I just saw this one. I was sort of looking around at different brands and whatnot, and I saw Fleet Trades, and it's actually really handy because Ford work with Fleet Trades. So when I ordered the car, they were able to ship the car straight to the Fleet Trades factory and then get all the canopy, roof rack, dog boxes, these taillight surrounds, and even a trundle drawer at the back, the whole kit, all installed. And then when I picked up the car, it was all done. So that's really nice to have. So as I was saying, I got it as a kit. So I was able to get, I saw a promotion on their Instagram page. It was the satin black canopy, all aluminum, the roof rack, 3 meters, dog boxes, these tail out surrounds, which add as a bit of protection, and it looks nice, in my opinion. All right, guys, coming around to the rear of the car. Nice little storage area. We've got a trundle drawer. It's pretty long. I think it's about 1,700. It's really handy. I just thought about it before I left. It actually really fits. The Max Trax in here really well. A snatch strap. If it's dirty, I don't really care. A shovel and everything. It's really good out here in Robe because as there's obviously lots of sand around, these beaches can get really soft, and we've been bogged quite a few times, and these really come in handy, and that'd save your life, honestly. Like if you're stuck near the water or anything, that's what you need. So whenever you go to the beach, if not anywhere, Max Trax will save your life.
Now, as we can see, we got a roof rack on the top. What sort of roof rack you running? And I see we've also got an awning on the other side. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, this, as you can probably tell, this roof rack, 3 meter long. It's handy for work, especially with ladders and stuff. Fleet trades, I got it the same with the canopy and all the rest of the setup in that promotion. Yeah, on the other side, I'm rocking a 3 meter by 2 meter King's awning. It does the trick. I'll get my use out of it, and then I'll probably opt for like a 270 degree sort of better sort of quality awning. Coming towards the front, one of the first things I actually did, I bought a 40-inch, I think it is, King's light bar. It does the trick. It's in a nice spot. It's out of the way. And yeah, well, if it wasn't dirty, it provides really, really good light, really wide, and really wide view. Turns night into day. So
Benny, you don't have a bull bar, but you've got something in store for us, don't you? What do you got planned?
I do have something coming up after this trip in, I think, about 2 days' time. I'm taking this over to TWD 4x4 Melbourne, and they're going to be installing a Hammer King Series Plus bull bar. So the one with the hoops, and also a Runva 11 XP winch for me. It's going to set me back a little bit, but it'll be well worth it. It'll save my life, and it'll help others out, and it'll just look really good.
So Ben, we've been on a lot of trips, but you know, what would be your favourite trip out of all of them?
Well, last year I spent quite a lot of time up around sort of the Toolangi State Forest. I really liked it up there. It's nice and muddy, nice and boggy, but also mixes in with a couple rocky tracks, which I really like. But coming out to the sand out here in Robe, it's a whole different experience. Being able to play around, drive on the beach, have this amazing scenery. It's a whole different experience. Like, certainly my favourite place. I'd 100% come back here, even though it's a far drive away. It doesn't bother me. It's well worth it. Being able to camp on your beach, have a couple beers with your mates, watch the sunset, have a fish, have a swim. It's got everything you could ask for.
So Ben, as we can see, we've got a lot of mods on this car, but what would be your favourite mod?
It's a tricky question because it would be between the canopy and the snorkel. The canopy is really good for keeping all your camping equipment and all sorts of bits and pieces nice and secure, and if you have to, locked. But the snorkel would be by far my favourite mod so far. Just, it looks good, sounds good, and having that upgraded airbox, it makes full driving so much better when you have, especially like when you have mates already having snorkels, being able to go through deep water crossings and whatnot, and you're left behind. Yeah, I just love the way it looks and all that.
Alrighty, Ben. So we've seen the outside of your car. What have you got inside?
If we come around here, I'll open her up for you. So, opening her up, she's pretty dirty, pretty messy at the moment, but I got some King's neoprene seat covers. They're really nice to have considering I've got leather seats. It really helps keep their sort of wear. I also I got some a dash mat just to sort of keep that sort of from being destroyed. Coming in the car here, I've got recently before this trip I installed this rear view mirror. So I've wired that up nice and neatly throughout the cab and then running along the roof rack. And so whenever I turn the car on, that will always be on. So considering I have the canopy, I can't see anything out the back. It's really good and also records as like a dash cam. So whenever you're driving, it's always recording, which is really handy.
So Ben, at the moment you're running handheld UHFs, but what's your plan once you get your bull bar?
Yeah, well, at the moment I got 2 GME handheld radios. They do the trick because usually you're driving in a convoy with a couple of people. At least someone has a UHF antenna, which is good if you need to actually get help from like far away and you can't get in contact with anyone else. But the plan is once I get the bull bar done, the plan is to get a GME antenna, so then I can get that extra mile, that long range, in case I decide to go out by myself, something happens, or even if someone else is in trouble, then I can respond and help them out. And then also as another thing, I got the light bar. When I get the bull bar, 100% getting steady spotlights. It'll just be a game changer, I reckon, at night time. Just being able to see that extra mile in the dark is great.
So Ben, other than your bull bar and your spotlights coming, what's your next mod?
Well, after that, it might be a bit of a wait to fill up my wallet again, but I certainly have in mind in the canopy, I'll fit that out with plywood, the whole lot for work and camping. I'll install a dual battery system, and then I'll be able to run a fridge, which will be amazing. All right, coming around the back here again. Another mod that is necessity for me is getting rid of this hunk of metal and getting an X-bar. This is a major issue when I'm forward driving because the amount of times that I've been hung up on rocks, in sand, in mud is crazy. One other big thing about these standard tow bars is they aren't rated for snatch strapping and towing, and well, towing, yes, but snatching people out as they're bolted on the side and it's so low, you're relying on the sheer strength of the bolts if you're pulling someone. Whereas the X-bar, it comes directly straight off the chassis. So when you're pulling a car, you're pulling with the chassis, not just with the tow bar.
So guys, we've looked around Ben's car. It's a really good looking car, man. I think a lot of people would be very jealous, including myself, of what you've got because it looks good, man. But anyway, so stay tuned. We've got another rig rundown coming up. My good mate, David, he's got a Volkswagen Amarok, but you'll have to wait and see for all the details. See you soon, guys. Bye.
There's plenty of space inside and always fuck.
Welcome back to Aussie Travellers, everyone. I'm Kian, this is Ben, and we're in Robe today, and we're going to review Ben's Ford Ranger. So, firstly, tell us, what are some of the main stuff you... That's fucking rubbish.
Just say, tell us a bit about your car.
Okay.
I'll just go through what it is.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Aussie Travellers. I'm Kian, this is Ben, and we're in Robe today, reviewing Ben's car. Fuck me.
You want me to do it?
No. Hey guys, and welcome back to Aussie Travellers. So one of the most obvious things we can first see about this Ford Ranger is the J-Max snorkel hanging off the edge. Yeah, tell us a little bit about how you went about fitting that, and I'll start again.